What happened with Cam Ward in his bowl game, Bruce?
He played half of the game and that was it. And then at halftime, my understanding is he basically just, said, "Hey, Emory Williams, it's, his turn and I'm done." And that was it. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm surprised that there was this kind of uproar on social media about this. Cam Ward actually played in the game. Most of the guys who are in bowl games, who are like, in the top 50 draft class, prospects, they're not playing. They're opting out. I mean, Ward's three of his, top four receivers opted out of the game. So the fact that he even played at all, much less played a half, surprised me a little bit. And so the fact that he left at halftime and, I don't think that was like anything to be stunned by or upset by. I mean, there's a lot of guys who didn't play. I just rattled off a bunch of guys who chose not to play in the bowl games at all. I mean, this
Well,
is a guy
now
who I think a lot of people expect to be a top 10 pick, and he went out and played, for a half of the game. That's more than Miami fans probably should have expected.
no doubt about it. I can say this, the fact that he played and rather than not does show you something. That's one thing. That he did want to compete for at least a half. But I can guarantee you this is going to be the first question of him in every single grease board conversation at the combine that Cam Ward has. Tell me what happened in the bowl game. And he's going to tell us whatever the story is. Like, hey, do we know what the story is? I wanted to play, and then I decided, you know what? The only plan was to play a half because I just wanted to be out there with the guys. Like, that's what I'm asking, because I do understand your approach that, hey, half's better than nothing, to just say I'm leaving everybody on the battlefield, if that's the way you want to put it.
My understanding,
Then
Rich, was that he had, that he had a discussion with their staff, and it was going to be somewhere along the lines of I think he knew if I don't play at all, a bunch of other guys are going to opt out. So he ended up playing, and look, he played really well. I threw three touchdowns in the first half against a good pass defense in Iowa State. I mean, I think it's like a top 5 pass defense. And then, that was it. I mean, I get the point you're saying about NFL teams are going to ask it. NFL teams ask every question, though. And, I'm sure they had those questions about Christian McCaffrey, who didn't play in a bowl game a long time
correct.
ago. And now like I said, most of the top guys, I went back and looked at this, are Dane Brugler, who does a really good job for The Athletic on the draft, of his like top 50 board. It's like 5 of the top 16 guys who are not in the playoff have opted out. Will Campbell at LSU, obviously the Michigan guys I mentioned, Caleb Johnson, a really good running back at Iowa. The guys who chose to play were Deion Sanders, 2 key guys, Shador, his son, and Travis Hunter. I mean, those guys have a connection with Deion that's much stronger than just, hey, a normal player coach. But beyond that, it's really just, it's almost most of those guys are not playing in bowl games.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.